Good morning and welcome to National Radio Laputria. I'm your host, Erebus Ignis. Oh, and it is definitely getting into the Christmas feels right now, isn't it? 100%. And here in the studio, we're especially cold today because we've just had a new puppy arrive. And as such, we've had to have the door open all day because, well, otherwise puppies do what puppies do. So, kicking it off today with a little bit of Christmas feel in it, we have Silent Night, sung to you by Bing Crosby.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly
And if that doesn't start to give you those Christmassy feels, I don't know what will. Obviously, as we get closer and closer to the big day, we will be playing more and more Christmassy music here on National Radio Laputria, so stay tuned in and buckle up for that, I suppose. But just before the news, we will have our usual scheduling of your favourite classic hits. So coming up next is If You Stub Your Toe on the Moon by Bing Crosby.
Oh, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you stub your toe on the moon when it gleams at the top of the sky. Well, you just have to jump pretty high, but don't give up too soon if you stub your toe on the moon. Young Harry Hadgetts loved making gadgets. Life needs some new things, was his claim. Hoped one or two things might bring fame. This is the last time you'll hear his name. Nobody mentions Harry's inventions. What do you think that got him down?
No!
Here comes the end when you've gadgets to mend. He's the best repairman in town.
So there's nothing to be ashamed of if you stub your toe on the moon. When you start out to climb through a cloud,
Well, it may get a laugh from the crowd,
but don't give up too soon.
if you stub your toe on the moon. Now sweet Sally Springer, she was a singer, lived in a hall room up one flight, thought of a ballroom big and bright, where she would make her debut some night. Then for her trouble, pop went the bubble. Say that it's sad, but wait, don't weep.
No!
Now they admit every night she's a hit when she sings her children to sleep.
So there's nothing to be ashamed of if you stub your toe on the moon when you trudge up a hill to the peak.
Well, you've hardly begun, so to speak, but don't give up too soon if you stub your toe on the moon. Horace McLowet, he was a poet, worked in an attic night and day, sort of fanatic, some would say, much too profound in an obscure way. Tried hard but lost out, laughed at and tossed out. Horace the failure would not grieve.
No!
He writes the rhymes that are cheerful as chimes on the Christmas cards you receive.
No, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you stub your toe on the moon, though it may be a blow to your pride.
You're a hero because, well, you tried. So don't give up too soon if you stub your toe on the moon.
Honor, discipline, courage, loyalty. These are the qualities of a knight of the Withered Rose. Do you have what it takes? Enlist in the Knights of the Withered Rose today and fight for good. If you think you have what it takes to have a career in the Knights of the Withered Rose, come to Wacket Castle, found in Wackland in the Riverlands. This is Laputria National News. I am your host, Erebus Ignis. Today's top stories. Fighting broke out over the weekend between Knights of the Withered Rose forces and members of the Pirates Guild in the region of Far Harbour. The mighty gunship, the Soulspite, sank the pirate vessel, the Segunda, late on Saturday afternoon. Casualty reports suggest that 2 knights and 4 pirates were killed in the fighting, as well as an unconfirmed number of civilians that were caught in the crossfire. The Royal Forge in Dunwall has successfully reached temperatures hot enough to melt rubies. The master craftsmiths at the forge have created 4 golden coins from a single shard, each inlaid with a fragment of the precious stone. Experts say that thousands of tons of gold will be needed before the coins can reach such numbers that they can be circulated to the public. Builders Guild officials are asking people to come forward with any sightings of building infringements that they have seen across Dreville. This is mostly directed at known abandoned buildings, but other breaches are also of interest. And finally, pressure groups are asking if the verbally impaired should just buy mics. While some are calling it meaningless rhetoric, the voices of the pressure group have been growing louder in recent weeks. And that is all from the Laputrian National News. Well, damn, there have been some exciting updates this week, haven't there? As always, if you've got any information that you'd like to send in to us here at National Radio Laputria so that we can present it on the news, please do so. Also, just a word from our advertising team. If you would like to have an advert put on National Radio Laputria, we do have a special one-time offer running for Christmas. So if you get a submission in for a advertisement for your shops or business into National Radio Laputria, it costs just 1 shard and your advert will be shown 4 times over the course of the next 4 broadcasts. That's 4 times in total for 1 shard. And get in touch with me for terms and conditions. Now, but coming up just before we have our... Oh, just had a little notification there. Just before our next segment, which is In the Attic with myself, where we'll be interviewing classy British, I have one of your absolute favourites, taking us back to episode 1, well, broadcast 1. Are You Having Any Fun? By Tommy Dorsey.
What you getting out of living? What good is what you got if you're not having any fun? Are you having any laughs? Are you getting any loving? The best of gentlemen now and then have a little fun. Why do you work and slave and save? Life is full of ifs and buts. World's just save and save. And what have they got? Nuts. Better have a little fun. You're not gonna live forever. Before you're old and gray and still okay, have your little fun, son. Have your little fun.
Hey kid, always find yourself looking for that one block? You know, the one block to really make it pop. Well, why not come on down to Erebus's Block Emporium, the one-stop block shop for all your detailing needs, only found in Dunwall City, Laputria. We have everything you need, from mossy cobblestone to blackstone, obsidian to red sand, anything you need and more to really make your builds pop. So, come on down to Erebus's Block Emporium, only found in the Market District in Dunwall, for all your detailing needs. In the Attic, brought to you by Erebus Ignis. And welcome, classy British.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So, shall we start off with tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and whereabouts in Dreville are you living?
I'm commonly known as Classy. I am the Guildmaster of the Dreville Science Division, and I'm also one of the alchemists that currently reside in Dreville. And I currently reside in Copper Lake, which is outside the Riverlands.
Oh, nice. And is Copper Lake a nice place?
Oh, it's very nice. If you like a forest that's surrounding a lake and peace and quiet, it's great.
Nice. Sounds good. Sounds peaceful. I think I may have passed there before on the way there somewhere. I'll have to pop in at some point and have a cup of tea.
Yeah, we can arrange that.
So you said that you're part of the Dreville Science Division, and you've had some involvement with the cure, or I say cure. It's quite a barbaric cure, but it's working is the most important thing, I suppose, so far.
Yeah, correct. I'm actually the guild master of the DSD, so I'm also the founder and leader of it. And regarding the school cleanser, we have made some progress in terms of making it more of an immunizer. We've found some hints as to how to get like a more of a immunity going in people rather than people constantly having to drink school cleanser. Although I'm not going to share much details as we are still investigating the matter, but we've got a lead at least, so I can give confirmation on that.
Do you think the last of like any big outbreaks are behind us now, or do you think that's still something that's an ever-present threat?
Well, it's always good to watch your back and be aware that anything can happen. Well, the outbreaks have certainly died down. It's always good to keep a clear head and be aware anything can change at any moment.
No,
Which is
certainly.
why myself and the DSD have been keeping a watchful eye on the situation and making sure school cleanser is being handed out as best we can.
Indeed. Any word yet of when we might be able to start putting water back in some of the rivers?
I have been doing some research on potential water purification, though that hasn't led off into any success yet. But so far, it might take a few more while until we can figure out how to basically stop the skulk entirely.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that we've sort of stopped the water coming into Dunwall via the river system, because I feel like that is a disaster waiting to happen, given how extensive our sewer network is here in the city.
And also the fact that water is a basic necessity in life as well.
No, indeed. Yeah, so we have been having to import water for a little while now.
Well, as long as it works.
So, what kind of have you got any future projects lined up on the horizon, other than the skulk stuff, obviously, that you're still working on?
Well, to be honest, my time has mostly been focused on the Escoping Vector Manor. But aside from that, the DSD is also focusing on building a new headquarters. We've got some plans out for it
Mm-hmm.
and a suitable location, but we haven't started getting the foundations up and going.
Ah, fair enough. Are you allowed to
Hmm.
are you allowed to disclose the location, or is that secret at the moment?
I won't disclose it just yet due to the matter regarding the skulk and whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
we do have plans to publicly announce it once we've got everything set up.
Ah, wonderful, good stuff. Good. Um, and have you obviously the weekend just gone? There was quite a large battle that took place. I understand that you were observing it from afar, unlike some people that ended up being casualties, from what I've been told. Um, do you have any thoughts on that?
Hmm. Well, as a neutral party and an observer in the war, I will admit it was quite a sight to behold as well.
Hmm.
I'm not really one for wars or getting directly involved. I'm more of the keep to the sidelines, keep to myself.
I think it's probably good that obviously I know that you kept sort of out of the way, but there were a few people that
That
got a
did
little
step.
too
Oh,
close,
yeah.
and there was some
I
civilian
did. I did.
casualties.
I did try and tell them to back off, but they don't listen.
No. Oh. Well, we'll see. Fortunately, there are technically no war crimes in travel yet.
Yet, but I'm sure someone will find a way.
I'm sure they will. So, is there anything that you'd like to discuss? We're running quite ahead of time at the moment.
Well, how has Laputria been? It's been a while since I've last visited the nation, so how have things been going over here?
Yeah, things have been going really well. We're just Thermo's getting a new house, like because he's been living in a factory for the last 8 months.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that won't do good on the health. He needs a proper home.
no, we've just finished building another tavern in the city itself, called the
I
Golden
guess too.
Fox.
What one wasn't enough.
Well, it's just that obviously the one that we're in now, where the in the attic's filmed, is people kind of forget that it's a tavern, and it's not really on the main route into the city. It's on the kind of it's on the north gate, south gate. So people kind of forget it's here.
Yeah, it is quite out of the way, so I do understand that.
Yeah, so we've built one down by the east gate.
Yeah.
And obviously the forge. The forge has been finished now as well, which, well, it's just been announced on the news that they've successfully super smelted rubies. So we're now they've actually melted rubies,
Huh. Fancy that.
and there's plans to forge coins. So I think the plan is to split a shard down into 4 coins to give you a smaller denomination of currency for smaller trades. But it requires a lot of gold in the smelting process. In fact, there's a constant flow of slag gold that comes out of the back of the furnace, and then unfortunately we just kind of dump it in the sea at the moment. But it's there.
It is what it is. I do agree that while the rubies and the shards do work, it's kind of hard to actually differentiate value when it comes to specific items and whatnot.
Yeah.
So having a bit more currency options would be wonderful.
No, I agree. Because one of the things that Smee and some of the others have spoken about, certainly in Dunwall, is the fact that Mason, previously of Kittroff, he wanted to buy some blackstone from me the other day. But the smallest amount of blackstone, he only wanted to make like a handful of buttons, but the lowest amount of blackstone he could buy from me was like 4 stacks. Which is like,
yeah.
you don't need that if you're just making some buttons.
Yeah,
But
I'd say it probably needs like 10 or so.
Yeah, but I think having that smaller denomination will certainly open up the possibilities of smaller trades, like flower shops, for instance. Certain potions won't need to be as expensive, or you basically won't have to buy things in bulk all the time anymore. If you just want to buy like 1 or 2 things, or exchange some currency for staying in a room for the night, like it opens up that possibility.
Yeah, like just 1 apple for 1 particular coin. It works.
Indeed. But yeah, did you have anything in the auction this Saturday?
I actually had 2 items
Oh yeah.
put for the auction.
Did you make a lot of money?
Oh, I actually did with my second one actually.
Oh,
Right about 5 rubies.
Yeah, I was there for
You were
that.
there.
Yeah,
You arrived late.
I did. I rocked up, sold my items, and then disappeared again.
You basically just pieced out.
Yeah, well, as you're aware, I've had quite a busy weekend. Certainly with the battle and
I
stuff.
think we all have. But yeah, the first item I saw was basically a paper mache of Sasha the Fox's head. Little context behind that: we basically, when Sasha was with me in the Soul Anchor, we got bored and he just said, "Hey, why don't you just make a mache of my head?" I went, why not?" So that came to be.
Nice.
No one bought it, so I still got it.
I might buy it off you at some point. Depends. We'll see.
Maybe.
So, a little bit more on the Dreville Science Division. Obviously, we built a lab here for you guys to sort of use in between stuff as well. And obviously, I was there with you when you cured what's his name, Slasher. And are the facilities there up to your liking for sort of temporary use if you're in the area, or is there any improvements that you could see made to them?
Well, the lab is certainly up standards from my point of view, and Firmo has done a wonderful job in keeping it very updated and up to standards.
Oh, good.
And it was a pleasure to work alongside him in creating Sasha's body. I actually learned quite a bit from him.
He is quite the tinkerer.
There he is.
So is your only residence at Copper Lake?
Yeah, it's out of the way. I'm not really affiliated with any nation, so I tend to keep out of the nation. Though a holiday home sounds quite nice, to be honest.
I was going to say we've always got apartments and various things here in Dunwall. You wouldn't have to commit to any permanent residency or anything like that. Just as a sort of like little getaway, a home away from home, as it were, if that ever took your fancy.
I'll think about it. It's been on my mind lately, but we'll see.
Fair Fair enough. And I suppose lastly, the Nether Highways, a little bit random and off topic. Do you think that they could do with an overhaul?
Yes, I do think they do need a bit of an overhaul. Like, while they are good in some areas, there's some parts where, of course, coming to Laputria, I had to do a nice little trek over.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred if that was somehow quickened in a way, like through the use of ice or any other means.
No, certainly. Well, we've still got about a minute and a half left. I've run out because you've answered all the questions far more efficiently than anybody else we've had on the show.
Well, I'm also less for like just idle chat. I'm also getting to the point.
No.
So I do apologize about that.
No need to apologise. It is nice. I kind of had to cut Slasher off the other day. That's the end.
Oh, I heard while I was brewing some potions, listening to the radio. I'm just like, oh, that boy.
I think next week I'm hoping to get David on. We might have a bit of a. I mean, he is both the High King, the chapter master of the Withered Rose in this region, and as well as a few other feathers to his hat. So I think he deserves a bit of an extra long episode. Might take it up to like a 2-part.
I can imagine there being like a lot to discuss with him. A lot of matters, such as the matter with the Pirate Guild.
No, certainly.
His opinions on what's been going on, so forth.
No, indeed. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what he has to say. But yeah. But that's it. That's brought us nicely up to the end of the show. Thank you very much for coming, Classy.
No problem. Thank you for the invite.
And I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Take care.
And you probably heard there that we did have some audio problems in the background. You could hear the fire crackling away. We will make sure that is sorted out for the next episode of In the Attic. However, just before we get to our country segment, long pause. No, we have the Fuddy Duddy Watchmaker by Kay Kaiser.
I broke my watch round 9:15, so I took it down the corner to a friend of mine. Well, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. The fuddy-duddy watchmaker at the jewelry store. And I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He's got it on the beam steadier than ever before. Look at the old man go. He's 103 and that's no lie. Look at the old man go. When he put that glass up to his eye. Well, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. The fuddy-duddy watchmaker at the jewelry store. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. The fuddy-duddy watchmaker at the jewelry store.
And coming up first for you today, we have The Gambler by Carl T. Sprague, followed by some early Frankie Marvin with The Two-Gun Cowboy. Back to back, only here on National Radio Laputria.
Up on where the sun grew down, to disregard a father's care, or heed unto a mother's prayer, with gambling on the Sabbath day. From their advice he turned away. Cards and dice he then soon learned to play, and now in prison has to lie, till on the gallows he must die. His father 60 years of age, the best of counsel did engage, to see if something might be done to save his disobedient son. But nothing could the counsel do. The testimony was so true. The bloody weapon he had drawn, and pierced his comrade's body through. The sheriff touched the slender cord, his soul went up 2 minutes long. The doctor says the wretch is dead, his spirit from his body fled. His weeping mother cried aloud, "Oh God, to save this daily cried, that none may ever have to pay for gambling on the Sabbath day." Out on a ranch, away out west, the cowboys work and they never rest, till Saturday night comes rolling around. They get their checks and they head for town. Foot in the stirrup, the other on the ground, cowboy smiling 'cause he's going to town. Got a little gal just 5'1", she's just as sweet as a sugar plum. He rides right into the middle of the town, drops his reins and he hits the ground. A shot rang out, he dropped down flat, the next shot got him through the top of the hat. Oh, lady, oh, yo lady, oh, yo lady. Yo lady, oh, lady, yo lady, oh, lady, oh, lady. He whips out his gun and he shoots so fast, them cattle thieves just couldn't last. He run 'em to the corner saloon, and they shot it out by the light of the moon.
He walks up to the bar, has a drink on the house. Them gun-toting rounders were still as a mouse. A rap at the door and he turns around. There stood his sweetheart, the belle of the town. He put her on his horse by his side. It wasn't very long till she was his bride. Now they live in a cute bungalow, and they're more happy than you'll ever know. Yo-lady-o, yo-lady-o, yo-lady. Yo-lady-o, yo-lady, yo-lady-o, yo-lady.
And unfortunately, that is all we have time for today at National Radio Laputria, and I hope you've all enjoyed your time with us today as much as we have enjoyed it with you. Just before we sign off, I'd just like to put another reminder out there for anybody who would like to take out a trailer on the radio station, then please do contact me, and obviously remember to tune in next week as well. Obviously, slightly shorter than usual, but that's because some of the songs have been slightly shorter, and also we had to miss a segment for various reasons. Next week, look forward to some more Christmassy music because we're getting those winter feels in. And if you would like to take part in an interview in the attic, please do just message me, or I will approach you, depending on how important you are. You know who you are. But that's been all from me, people. Good night.